Oh my God, sun. Okay, brilliant. Sun's back. Okay, let's film. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We are doing a Disney World Q&A today. Let's get into it. So last year, my partner and I went over to Disney World for 2 weeks. We had the absolute best time there. It was both of our first times being there, so we had a lot of questions. So what I did a little while back was I opened up the floor on my Instagram and I got in a bunch of Disney World questions. So I've got them all here and we're gonna get into them. So before I get into the questions, I did of course vlog the whole trip. So I will leave those videos linked both in the description box below and at the end of the video, so you can click on that and have a look if you haven't seen them, or if you have and you want to rewatch them because they're fun. If you enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up as it really does help the channel, and if you're new, hit subscribe. I will say a small caveat before we get into this. I have been meaning to do this video for the longest time, so some of my answers are actually a little bit outdated. They're not relevant to Disney World anymore, but I left them in just for fun. Okay, I've got all my questions and my answers here. I did my answers before I filmed because otherwise we'd be here all day trying to think of all of the wonderful things in Disney. So first question is favorite ride. This one's way too hard to answer, so I actually broke it down park by park. So starting with Animal Kingdom, my favorite ride there was Flight of Passage, which is the Avatar Pandora flight simulator kind of ride. You basically like simulate flying on a banshee. I don't know much about Avatar. I've seen it once. I saw it when it came out in the cinema and I didn't care for it, if I'm honest. I don't know if maybe I rewatched it, I might like it more because it seems to be a big hit, but I'm not an Avatar fan, but I did really enjoy that ride. So you don't have to be an Avatar fan to like it. It's really like high tech because the vehicle you're sitting in is like, it like breathes, which is what so many people find so weird about it. It's supposed to feel like you're actually riding a live animal because it's like breathing underneath you. It's very strange. And it's all this like panoramic 3D going on around you. It is such a trip. It is really bizarre, but it's so fun. It's always got such a long wait, but the queue is actually really nice because you go through all these like Pandora landscapes and then you see like the actual Avatar labs and stuff like that. So like there's a lot going on. It's a really top-notch ride, just like start to finish. It's really good. In Hollywood Studios, my favorite ride without a doubt was Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That is just the cutest ride. I loved it. It's one of these new trackless rides they do. So you're in this like standalone ride vehicle thing and it just like freely moves. It's so hard to describe. But they're really like brand new. They're raving about this tech they have. But you're in this little like train car that runs away. And you go and like go through a few adventures with Mickey and Minnie and their friends. It's really cute. You feel like you're genuinely like in a Mickey Mouse cartoon. It's adorable. It is so visually stunning. Everything around you is so beautiful. The colors, the sights, everything's just so fabulous. I really love that one. In Epcot, my favorite ride was the Ratatouille ride. I think it's called Remy's Ratatouille Adventure or something like that. But it's the same kind of tech as Runaway Railway. It's trackless, so you're in this little rat vehicle. So the idea is that you're like shrunk down to be the size of a rat, but then you're riding around in a rat, which is a bit weird. Don't overthink it. But you're gonna like go around the sights of the movie, go into the restaurant, into the kitchen, into like the streets of Paris. It's so cute, and it is one of these like typical 4D rides where they like pump smells in and like spray you with water and stuff like that. It is so much fun. In Magic Kingdom, this was the hardest one because so many like amazing rides in Magic Kingdom, but my favorite I had to give to Splash Mountain because I just kept riding it over and over again, so it was clearly the winner. I had never been to an American Disney park. I've only been to the European Disney park, so I had never experienced Splash Mountain, and good God, is it worth the hype. It is so fun. It's like a boat ride, but it's part thrill ride as well because you've got those big drops. It's about 12 minutes long. I had to Google this, but it's about 12 minutes long. So you really feel like it's worth the time waiting in line for it. And it's just like you go through the whole story and the music is so catchy, so fun, and then of course you've got that big drop at the end. It is just fantastic. Now it's closed for its retheme right now. It is getting rethemed to Princess and the Frog. I love Princess and the Frog. I can't wait to see that. I think that's going to be so cool. The music in Princess and the Frog is incredible, so like I think the ride can only get better. So we did also go to the Universal parks. So for Universal Studios, I figure Escape from Gringotts was probably my favorite. That one was really fun. It's one of the Harry Potter ones, obviously. So it's quite new, and it's part track coaster, like your traditional like on a roller coaster kind of roller coaster, and then part simulator. So every now and then you like stop and your ride vehicle kind of moves you and you're watching a scene and like moving around with it. It's quite fun. And it takes you in through like the foyer of Gringotts when you're queuing. So there's a lot of cool things to look at. It is quite a tight fit in the ride vehicles though, I will say that. Just a heads up if that's something that's uncomfortable. You are quite squished into them. The other Universal park is Islands of Adventure, and the best ride I thought there is another Harry Potter one. It's the Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventures, I think is the proper name. It's the one where you're in the motorbike and sidecar, and it's just like a really classic roller coaster, but it's got so many cool unique elements to it. Like the track drops down at one point, like the actual literal track drops. You don't like go down, it drops you down. It's terrifying, but it's amazing, and it's so much fun. Like it goes like just fast enough, not too fast that your head's banging around and you're getting a headache, but fast enough that it's fun. It's a really great ride. Okay, so my next question was favorite park. So out of all of them, out of the 4 Disney parks and the 2 Universal parks, it was obviously going to be a Disney park, but I couldn't decide between Magic Kingdom and Epcot, because they're both just incredible. Like Magic Kingdom is, you know, very ride heavy, obviously quintessentially Disney, all the princesses, all, you know, the castle, all of that, but I gave it to Epcot, because I'm a little bit obsessed with Epcot. Like the vibes are just incredible. It's so nice to just walk around Epcot, take in the sights, have some food, have some drinks. It's just, oh my god, it's such a relaxing place to be, while entertaining at the same time. Like there's enough to do. Yeah, I love Epcot. My phone background is actually Spaceship Earth. So kind of had to give it to Epcot, I think. Another question was about the transport. What was the transport like? How did we get around? What kind of transport were we using? So we were actually staying on site at Disney, which meant that we had so much Disney transportation on offer to us. Every resort has a bus route in and out of every park. Then different resorts will have like different extras, like a boat, a monorail, or the Skyliner. We were staying in a Skyliner resort, which is like an above ground gondola thing. It's kind of a ride in itself. It's actually really fun, and it's so reliable and quick because it's constantly moving. So there's never really a build up of a queue, and you're just on the go. It's brilliant. You get views over everywhere, over all of the parks. You can see like Tower of Terror and Spaceship Earth and everything. You could just see so much. It only goes to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. It doesn't go to all 4 parks. So you do obviously have to get a bus or a boat or a monorail to the other ones, depending on where you're staying. But it's a really great option when it's there. So whenever we were going off-site then to Universal or the outlets or whatever, we used Uber and Lyft. They are kind of pricey. Depends on where you're going and what time of day and, you know, demand and that kind of thing. But it did really add up. Like when we were going to Universal in the mornings, it was a very reasonable price. But then when we were coming home at night, it was always really, really expensive. So bear that in mind. It can really add up. But that being said, it is a very reliable service. It's very easy to get them. So you just get the app on your phone and you're off. And then the last transport I want to talk about is we got the Mears coach to and from the airport. So Disney guests used to be able to get a complimentary coach to and from the airport. They've stopped that service now, so you are on your own figuring that out. But the coach service that was working with Disney to provide that service originally, they've actually started up their own service now. It's $16 per person each way. But I think that's really reasonable, and it was a really good service. It was really reliable, very frequent, so it's not like you have to wait around in the airport for ages before you get one. And it's clean and it's efficient, and it's definitely worth it. Another question was, is it really as expensive as people say? Yeah, just straight up, yeah, it is expensive. Like obviously everyone's definition of expensive and everyone's budget is going to be so different, but you are more likely going to have to save for it than not. Like if you're really rich, great, good for you. You can probably just go on the spur of the moment. But most people probably will actually have to plan and save to go. You definitely do need to think ahead about that. And obviously it depends on like what you are doing there. Are you staying on site? Are you staying off site? Are you staying in a deluxe resort or a moderate resort? Like there's so many different factors that will influence what it costs for you. And there's so many ways that you can cut costs as well. So like I could very easily do a whole other video about this, so let me know if you want me to. But there's all sorts of ways that you can like manage your budget with it. But ultimately, yes, it is a pricey trip. Okay, so this might be my favorite question. Favorite food or drink? Again, so many things. I had to break it down park by park. So Hollywood Studios, I'm going to give it to the blue milk, which is one of the Star Wars drinks. You've probably seen them online. They do like blue and they do green. They're a real hot topic. Everyone's always debating which one's better. I think blue milk is way better. Green milk tastes like grass in my opinion. Blue milk tastes like an ice pop. It's very tasty. We didn't really do an awful lot of food in Hollywood Studios because it's not like its quick service isn't great. It's fine. It's definitely fine, but you know, there's other parks that are way better for food. So there's a little stuck for choice with that one. Animal Kingdom is one of the parks that's brilliant for food. So good there. I have two choices. I really like their 50th celebration ice cream sandwich. Oh my god, it was so good. So good. I was thinking about it for months after I got home as well. It was just one of those foods that just lives in your memory. It was so simple. Like there wasn't really anything particularly special about it. It was just 2 chocolate cookies with some nice vanilla Haagen-Dazs in the middle. Really good, really delicious. The other choice then for Animal Kingdom is the salad in Satuli Canteen, which is in Pandora. Really like best salad I've ever had. I don't know what they do to make them so delicious, but beautiful. Okay, so then Epcot, which is like the food and drink location in Disney World. I'm a little bit basic. I'm giving it to the frozen margarita, just the classic lime frozen margarita. So good, can't beat it. But I am also going to give it to the ice cream from the France Pavilion. That was also really good. Really long queue for that ice cream actually. So I guess it's a fan favorite, but I just got like vanilla and chocolate and whew, some of the best ice cream I have ever had. I did obviously do a whole eating and drinking around the world video, so you can go and watch that if you want to see me eating and drinking around Epcot for 20 minutes and just obsessing over everything. Magic Kingdom. Again, I've got two choices here. I've got Dole Whip, which isn't like specific to Magic Kingdom, but it is very quintessentially Magic Kingdom at the same time. That is so good. I totally get the hype around it. Oh my god, I was so desperate to try it because obviously everyone always talks about it. My god, did it live up to the hype. Actual like substantial food wise, there is a really good vegetarian hot dog from Casey's Corner. I'm not a vegetarian, but I did get it because it just sounded so nice. It's got all these like toppings on it, corn, slaw, everything, like so like gourmet for a hot dog, and it was really, really good. I also wanted to throw Disney Springs into the mix with this one because, again, that's such a great food and drink location in Disney. Again, so many options that I just loved that I'm finding it really hard to narrow it down, but I was so obsessed with the milkshakes from Ghirardelli. They were so thick and chocolatey and just so decadent. Again, I was thinking about them for months after I got home, and they had to win. So this is another really fun one. Best character interaction. Easily Goofy, like easily Goofy. We met him on our first day there. He was in Epcot. He was so fun and so engaging and like, oh, just honestly incredible character interaction. So sweet. But Donald Duck is always a win as well. If you ever get the chance to meet Donald Duck because he is so funny. We met him twice, and he's just so easy to like have a laugh with because he's just really silly. So he's a good one as well. Did we use Genie Plus or Lightning Lanes? So Genie Plus is the new Fast Pass. It's a little bit different to Fast Pass, but it's essentially that you get into a shorter queue, you get into like a priority queue for a ride. Genie Plus you have to pay for. Fast Pass did used to be free, so that is a little bit of a controversial thing. But when we were there, Genie Plus was just the one price per day, $15. Now it's surge pricing, so depending on how busy it is, it can go up to like $20 or $30. That is a lot of money. I don't mind doing the $15 Genie Plus every now and then. We didn't use it every day. It was definitely worth our money when we did use it, but we absolutely got on fine without it as well. The Lightning Lane is like an individual one. So Genie Plus, you've got like a catalog of rides that you can use. Lightning Lane, you pay once per one ride. So it's usually like the newest ride in each park is the Lightning Lane. And again, it's kind of like $15-ish for the priority queue in that. Again, surge pricing, it can go up. We didn't use any of them. We kind of just felt like when we were buying Genie Plus, it was like, no, we don't really need to get both. Retrospectively, we probably could have bought one or two Lightning Lanes, and it wouldn't have broken the bank. We could have used it maybe a little bit more intelligently and kind of balanced the spending, where you could just buy one individual Lightning Lane instead of Genie Plus, or, you know, now that we've done it, we kind of know better ways to do it, but it's completely dependent on you, what your ride priorities are. There's a lot of new rides now that weren't there when we were there last year, so we probably would use Lightning Lane more if we were there again. But like, you kind of have to just balance up what you're already spending and how busy it is, because if it's really busy and loads of people are buying Lightning Lanes or Genie Plus, it kind of doesn't really make it any quicker. So that's something to think about as well. Okay, this one's least favorite ride. Okay, people are probably gonna come after me for this because it's a classic. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin in Magic Kingdom is so boring. It is so boring. It's one of these like arcade point and shoot kind of games. You're using a laser to shoot, so you don't know what you're shooting at because everyone's laser looks the same. So like, there's people next to you, like you're sitting 2 per vehicle, and then there could be another vehicle like right beside you, and it's really hard to figure out which laser is which. I thought it was really boring, and it kept breaking down when we were on it, so I don't like that. I also want to give a special shout out to Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon, or whatever it's called, in Universal. That ride is so goddamn boring. Oh my god. I know everyone hates it. Like, I know everyone hates it. I did it because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. Yeah. Oh my god. It's so pointless. Like, you're the audience at Jimmy Fallon's show, and he decides to race you all in these weird, like, go-kart things around New York and, like, up into space. at one point, and then back down again. And I think you like land in, I don't know, is it like the Hudson or something, some river. It's like, there's like 30 of you in this one ride vehicle. So for a simulator, it is so distracting. It's not even in any way immersive, because it's like you and 30 other people just strapped in Universal, just like bobbing around. Very weird, very bad ride. Okay, this one's really good. I think it might actually warrant a separate video. What's in your park bag? So I totally will make a whole video about this if you want. Again, let me know. But a few key items that you always will need is a water bottle to refill as you go, because you need to stay hydrated. Sun cream, because it's obviously very sunny. Hand sanitizer wipes, they're so handy. There are usually like sanitizer dispensers, and then obviously the bathrooms where you can go and wash your hands, but having the wipes is really handy. That like if you get sticky hands after eating a treat, or even just if your hands are pretty much clean but you're just about to eat and you want to just freshen up, or they're just really useful to have. You can even like wipe down your table if there's any food spills. Have those. Also a power pack for your devices, because you're going to use them a lot, so they're going to need to be topped up throughout the day. Question number 10. Plan or no plan? Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between plan versus no plan, because like I'm a planner, I love to plan. And it's really good to do planning before you go, to figure out what kind of rides you're going to want to do, where you're going to want to eat, even just like what kind of weather to predict and plan for, like how busy is it going to be, all that sort of stuff. Like do research before you go. Then when you get there, make sure to be a little bit flexible, because you'll have to be. Like things are going to go wrong. If you have your entire day planned out to the minute, something's going to disrupt that. Like it's never going to go perfectly, and you don't want to get upset and you don't want to get frustrated. So be a little bit flexible, give yourself that space to go with the flow a little bit. Like maybe go in each day thinking, okay, well I want to ride this ride, I want to eat this food, I want to see the fireworks, whatever. And then just be a little bit flexible around that, because like going with the flow is so nice. You're on holidays. You don't want to have to be so worked up and following such a strict itinerary. Give yourself a few priorities and then just let yourself be free for the rest of it. Question 11 is best show. So if we're talking like fireworks, then I have to give it to Harmonious in Epcot. It's gone now. It was the 50th fireworks show in Epcot. It was so stunning. It was so beautiful. It's on Disney Plus, it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify. Check it out. It is stunning. I'm still like constantly listening to it on Spotify. I love it so much. If we're talking about like the cast performances, then the Indiana Jones stunt show is so good. It's really entertaining. And actually the Feathered Friends in Flight, I think is what it's called, in Animal Kingdom. It's the bird show there. That was so fun. I really liked that as well. Like I'm not a big bird person, but I learned so much. I learned like cool little facts about the birds, and then they do tricks, and there's I think, is it a crow? Will fly over to somebody in the audience, take a dollar bill out of their hand, take it back to the stage, and then take it back to the audience again. Like it's just so fun. Also the nighttime projections on the Chinese theater in Hollywood Studios, they are so beautiful. Fantasmic was still closed when we went there, so we didn't get to see it, but they do actually have projections every night regardless of whether Fantasmic is on. It's not like it wasn't a replacement to Fantasmic, it's just something else they do. They do these like gorgeous little montages of clips from Disney movies. They do an animated one and they do a live action one, and they play the soundtracks and stuff. It's so gorgeous. It's actually really nice. I think it's such an underrated little thing to do in the evening. Question 12, easy peasy. Disney parks or Universal parks? Disney, obviously, 100%, no competition. Next. Really good question here. Is there anything you regret doing or not doing? Yes. obviously so much. There is so much to do between Disney and Universal, and just even the surrounding areas. You're never going to get everything done in one trip or 2 trips or 3 trips or however many trips. There's always going to be something that you haven't done or that you haven't seen. So yeah, there's loads. I mean, most of my regrets are around food that I didn't get to eat. You regret 100% of the food you don't eat. Like there's so many treats that I had in my head for the longest time leading up to the holiday that I either just completely forgot about while I was there or just never got around to getting them. So most of my regrets are food related. The next one is, what resort did we stay at? We stayed at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. It's a little bit of a polarizing one. I know some people really don't like that resort, but we really liked it. It was so nice. It was so pretty and colorful and like leafy and green, and it's just like a gorgeous resort. Some people do say that it's too big. There's a lot of walking and it's all outside. Like the deluxe resorts are usually one big like building, and then the moderate and values can be like different houses around the grounds. I like that style. I think that's really nice. I'm quite used to walking, and like having walking be my main mode of transport, so it didn't bother me that I had to walk like 10 minutes from the lobby to my room. But again, like the resort is just so nice, and there's so many things dotted around it that you don't even really notice it. Like each little area has their own private pool, and then you've got the Skyliner. We were quite near the Skyliner where we were. There's different bus stops around the whole resort as well. So I think maybe if you were exhausted or something, like, yeah, you would definitely notice the extra few steps. But for the most part, we loved that resort, and it's right next door to the Riviera. So you can walk right up there and get some nice food there if you want as well, because their food is fabulous. Sun has gone in again. Damn it. The next question is Epcot left or right? So if you're not clued in on this, basically Epcot World Showcase is one big circle based around a lagoon, and you come in at like the 12 o'clock, and you can either go left and start in Mexico or right and start in Canada. And it is such a like hot debate on the internet. It's mad how many people like will fight you over your answer on this. But I like to go right into Canada when I get there, because like if you're eating and drinking around, when you go to Canada, your options are things like ciders and nice hearty food, stuff like that. And then by the time you've gone all the way around there and had all the food and all the drink, you finish in Mexico. It's nighttime, there's probably fireworks happening, you get a frozen margarita, you get some chips and guac, you sit down, you cool off, you just luxuriate. It is so gorgeous. I love doing it that way. So many people do argue that going the other way is better because, you know, you get to start in Mexico, you get to have like, you know, your frozen margarita right in the middle of the hot day, stuff like that. No, save it for nighttime, have some chips and guac, and then just fall back to your hotel. It's beautiful. Okay, so parks in the morning or parks at night is a great question, because they both totally have their own perks. Both times are quiet, like first thing in the morning, last thing at night, usually kind of quiet, like queues are a bit shorter, that kind of thing. I just love both times. I think the Disney parks are just so gorgeous and so stunning that to see them in like the early morning light and then to see them at nighttime all lit up, oh my god, like they're just so stunning. It's one of the few places that I'd be very happy to get up early and stay out all day and then go home late at night. Like, such a beautiful place to be. Doesn't matter what the weather is, doesn't matter what the lighting is like, stunning. Did we do any character meals? Yes, we did. We had originally wanted to do Crystal Palace in Magic Kingdom, which is Winnie the Pooh and all his friends. I love Winnie the Pooh, I'm such a Winnie the Pooh fan. It wasn't offering breakfast while we were there, and we just didn't really want to do it as like a lunch or a dinner. It is, I think, offering breakfast again now, if I'm not mistaken. But what we did book was Topolino's Terrace, which is in the Riviera Resort, and it was so fun. It was Mickey, Minnie, Donald and Daisy, and they're all in these like artists' costumes. It's so cute. Like, it's such a lovely one. Such a gorgeous environment. There's gorgeous views. You're up at the very top of the Riviera, which is a really tall resort. So you get to look out over our resort, which was Caribbean Beach. You can look over one direction and see Epcot. It's gorgeous. It's such a lovely resort. The food was fabulous as well. You get pastries and then you get hot food. Again, character meals are kind of pricey. So again, it's something that if your budget allows, go for it. If not, look, it's fine. You can still meet the characters elsewhere. This is just such a lovely way to do it while you're eating. It's such a unique experience to Disney. It's a lot of fun. Okay, I made it to my last question. Oh my God, my tea is so cold right now. So, what resort would we stay at if money wasn't an object? I've obviously talked a lot about the Riviera in this video. I really loved it. I thought it was such a gorgeous resort. The food options were brilliant. It was so scenic. The rooms are really small though, so I don't know that I'd actually stay there. I would probably be more likely to stay in like the Grand Floridian or the Yacht and Beach Club. I love the look of them. I love that sort of like old, I don't know, kind of New Englandy sort of, I mean, obviously the Grand Floridian is like old Florida, but that sort of like seaside-y town. I love that. I love that look. So I'd probably stay in one of those. I mean, obviously there are some gorgeous moderate resorts that I would also like to try, but I can probably save for those, where the deluxe resorts are probably going to be a pipe dream. So that's all of my questions answered. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you're new and you fancy sticking around, and you can ring the bell for notifications when I post a new video. If there's any more Disney related videos you'd like to see, please make sure to let me know in the comments. And if you want to see a part 2 of this video, you can also leave me a question in the comments below as well. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a magical day and go and watch my Disney vlogs.